And now, from Costa Mesa, California, at the Sunset
Looking good, Kent.
Studio, it's time for Sunset Rewind Fan Zone Edition with Kevin and Mo.
Pressure. Good call for the opening song, Billy Joel. It all begins. CIF brackets just came out moments ago, and it's on to the playoffs, Fan Zone number 12. So, Coach, got a special guest in the studio today, the Dean of CIF Bracketology, Kent Bickell. No one knows more about this stuff than Kent does, so we're happy to have him here.
Not even Taran.
Of course. I thought he was the Don.
He's everything.
He's the Don, you're the Dean.
The Czar, the
Or I'm
Dean,
the
the
Don.
Don, the King.
Yeah, I like that.
He knows what he's talking about.
Whatever
That's
you
the
want.
bottom line.
All
Yes.
right. So thank you for being here today, Kent. Let's go ahead and jump into the Fan Zone. If you could go to the slideshow, please, Cole. And what we got? So 2024 Sunset Rewind Fan Zone number 12 and CIF Playoffs show. So Sunset Rewind, where are they now? Makai Saggio, Edison class of 2024. You
I
know
thought it
where
was
he's at?
pronounced Songgyao.
We can double check on that.
I think he's playing JUCO ball.
I know where he's at.
Where's he at?
Riverside City College.
Atta kid, Taran. Good job. Riverside City College
They
class
had a big
2026.
win last night against Saddleback.
Oh, really? Yeah, Saddleback's
Yeah,
legit.
63 to 46.
Oof.
Taran's the defensive coordinator.
Says you, Sleepy Mo.
Yes.
Sunset Rewind separated at birth.
Oh, yeah.
I had to get myself this week. So the story behind this, I walked into a CVS a couple weeks ago, and the guy at the counter, I had my hat on backwards, my hair all messed up like that. He goes, I thought you were Kevin Noodles Wasserman from The Offspring. This guy thought it was actually me. I'm like, nah, dude, I'm just, I'm Sunset
Well, how
Rewind
ironic
teacher
would it have been
guy.
if that guy had a lightning bolt tattoo on his shoulder? Then you might have.
But this
passed.
guy told me I bore a resemblance to him, so I thought I'd have to.
I'm thinking Poindexter, but close enough.
Yeah, good stuff. Anyway, but I do kind of look like that guy. Most players of the week. Who do you got, Coach?
The offensive line shined bright for Marina football. That was one of those games where they won by attrition. They were very patient all night long. Not a lot of scoring, but they were just. It was body blow, and it really made a difference as the game progressed. I remember late in the fourth quarter, 4 or 5 times they stopped the game because Beckman players had to be carted off the field or helped off. They just pushed and really did a great job, and it carried over into overtime. So those guys did an outstanding job, and congrats to all of them.
Let's introduce them by name. You want to do the honors, Taran?
Yes. Number 55, Lucas Ingrau. Number 61, James Sastrawan. Number 63, Emmett Bean. Number 51, Kyle Ledbetter. And number 52, Jarrett Merrill.
Kyle Ledbetter. There's could be a good nickname there. Pearl Jam, right?
Yep.
So congratulations to the Marina guys. Great job. Congratulations on your league championship, and go get them in CIF. So my player of the game, or player of the week, I had to go with the man of steel, Steel Kurtz. There he is flying through the air like Superman in the game against Crean Lutheran. He had 5 catches for 149 yards, almost averaged 30 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns. They got the victory, and they clinched a CIF playoff berth.
Interesting little side note, and we brought Ken in for CF. We're going to get to that in a second. They're playing Western, a team Ken is very familiar with. We'll break that down more in a second.
Our good
but,
friend
stay
Danny
tuned.
Davidson and the Western Pioneers.
Great first-round matchup.
Yeah, that's going to be outstanding.
And correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't Western have the top receiver in the county in terms of yards or catches? I know he's up there.
Yeah, J.J. Mesqua is number 2 in the section, actually.
Wow.
And he's legit good. I mean, just runs great routes, yards after catch. Great kid, too.
So
Really
if you like
good.
scoring,
Yeah.
check out Western.
I'm
at
almost
HP.
curious to see
Oh,
what
yeah.
the defensive coordinators do in that game. Sunset Rewind, good vibe of the week. This happened before he was my player of the week. Michael Huntley included the man of steel, Steel Kurtz, in his Huntley 11 for last week. Top performers to watch. So Michael Huntley basically predicted that Steel was going to have a big game, and he came through, and he did. So congratulations to Steel, getting some positive press there in the Orange County Register, and great call by Michael Huntley.
Called it.
Okay, Sunset on the radar players, guys, that you should be watching that are contributing to their teams. And I know it's at the end of the season, but I still wanted to recognize these guys. Riker Bud from Newport
Buddy.
Harbor. Riker Buddy, yeah. Newport Harbor, tackling machine, contributing to the Sailors. Had a good season this year. Unfortunately, Newport Harbor, don't think got into the playoffs, but wanted to congratulate Riker either way.
3-7
season.
is not going to get it done.
And Tucker Murray from Corona Del Mar, who unfortunately did not get in the playoffs either, but he had a great season and wanted to recognize the contributions he made to his team this year as a great football player. And he's only a sophomore, so I get to see a couple more years of him.
He's also a very good punt returner or kickoff returner as well.
Hey, special teams is part of it.
Trivia question for you two regarding Tucker Murray.
Okay.
His mom is a coach at Corona Del Mar. Which team does she coach at?
Soccer?
No.
Volleyball.
No.
Oh, water polo.
No.
Oh.
All right, what's the answer?
Girls lacrosse.
Oh, okay.
That was my fourth guess.
Sure it was, Sleepy Mo.
Yes.
Speaking
Look at
of
Terrence
which,
Takes.
it's Terrence Takes. What do you got for us?
It's Taran's takes, by the way.
Okay, Sleepy
Look at that
Mo.
helmet.
Well, for starters,
Are we supposed to be unbiased here? But anyway, go ahead, Taran. I'm sorry. I mean, Taran.
how dare you disrupt the dawn?
Go ahead.
Well, first and foremost, as I alluded to in the recap show, I do want to apologize to Marina for picking against them. I didn't look, it's nothing personal against them. Again, when I make these picks, I try to be as fair as possible. And the Beckman Marina game was so tough to predict. And like I said, like I spent the previous night before last week's Fan Zone debating, will Beckman come out on top? Will Marina come out on top? And sure enough, Marina, even though they had a lot of hijinks, they came out on top and they wound up winning. So,
Well, Taran, Beckman was 9-0. That's not a bad pick. It's not like,
Yeah.
You made a dumb decision there. It's,
that pick actually wound up costing me because Fryer actually picked Marina, and now I'm one game behind him in terms of the regular season. But
the choices we make have consequences, Taran.
Yeah, I actually was close to picking Portola instead of Pacifica, but it's like I had to take a deeper dive into that. So,
All right, well, what's done is done.
But one more thing for Terran's takes. To the teams that unfortunately did not make it, my heart definitely goes out to you, but it doesn't take away from all the hard work that you put into your program. To the seniors that will be departing, thank you so much for everything that you did for your team. You are a true warrior, and your legacy will never, ever, ever be forgotten.
That's very kind of you, Taran. Well stated.
And to the underclassmen, the juniors, freshmen, and sophomores, get ready because next year starts tomorrow or whenever the offseason begins because your team has unfinished business. And I want y'all to hit that sled machine hard. Don't skip any days in the weight room unless it can't be avoided. So on and so forth.
I just can't get over how fast the season goes. And you
So
get to know these
Exactly.
seniors, and then they're gone. It's like we don't get to see
Each year goes
some of these
faster and
studs who we
faster.
really built relationships with, the players, their parents, and you just, as fans, we get to watch. I mean, you were, the Los Al guy forever. You got to cover some ringers.
Yep.
And then when their season ends, as seniors, you're like, wow, just like that.
Yeah, it's really shocking. When you talk to some of the guys on senior nights, because we haven't gone through a few of them. Just even that night it's emotional for the coaches too. I mean, for us, us as broadcasters, but as for the coaches especially, they develop those relationships. So much time with those kids, and then it's over. It's emotional.
I mean, the one cool thing is some of those guys go on to play at the next level, whether it's JUCO or you got like a Makai Lemon who's not only playing at SC, he's a dude.
Yeah, he is.
So you get to follow, put those two fingers down, Tony. You get to follow those guys and cheer for them passively, I'll say in my case. But hey, Russell Weir's at UCLA.
Yeah.
All right, enough. Move on.
All right.
Just bummed me
that's
out.
pretty much that for Terran's take.
Yeah.
So.
We'll hold off on the first round games. Little comments and news. I mean, ultimately, the big news of the week is the CIF playoffs.
Yeah,
We had a
read them.
couple
Let's
comments.
go.
The
Let's go.
CIF.
Dan Trung, great costumes, y'all. Good old Rowdy Roddy Piper, the wrestler. Mo and Kevin's costume, Revenge of the Nerds, Tri Lambda. So Dan Trung like that. Said
Damn,
another good
my,
episode.
My
Good flashback pictures. Taran is the cowboy.
my costume wasn't all that great.
I brought that
No,
to
it's
school. Not
fine.
one student knew who I was. Y'all said, "Are you an Irish yodeler?" I'm like, what? But every teacher knew who I was and loved it. So it's kind of 50-50 on the reviews.
Braden Choi, I love Mo and Kevin's dynamic. Well, thank you, Braden. Jaya 1000. Playoffs are going to be awesome. Division 5 is where I'll be. Apple Valley, Laguna Beach, CDM, Bishop Mott, Huntington Beach.
Yeah, he called it. They are Division 5. We're
He
about to
did.
get into that.
Lucerna,
Good job,
Trabuco Hills.
Jaya.
going to be great. Don't sleep on El Dorado. So, well-coached team. He was referring to the, El Dorado playing Huntington. Yorba Linda takes all the talent. El Dorado is a sleeper in this spot. Yeah, so Yorba Linda, that neighborhood, you got 3 schools right there, El Dorado, Yorba Linda, Esperanza. Jeff Bailey, man, he does a great job at Yorba Linda. Kent Bickell, what the heck? I think
referring to our skit.
Our skit.
Did you know right off the bat who we were supposed to be? Or
No, I just thought it was funny as heck.
Thank you.
The Poindexter thing I thought was just hysterical.
That was Moe's idea. I got to give him all the credit for that.
Great.
That was Moe's idea. J.K. Pinda, Edison hung tough the first half with MV until a silly pass play with a minute. So, that happens.
Hold on. If you're going to beat the number 1 team, you got to play to win. They got aggressive at halftime. Yeah, you can. Yeah, and that's fine. I would have done the same thing.
So, in Mission Viejo, you said earlier in the other show they might be the best public school in California. That might be United States.
Find me a better one. We'll see.
Tommy
Maybe
Targ,
at least in Orange County.
great show, man. Thank you, Tommy. Rich Carrillo, big warm thanks to Katie and Mo and the Sunset Rewind team for an awesome Halloween edition of Fan Zone. Mo deserves the lion's share of the credit for that. He came up with all those skits and the decorations and costumes. So, a tip of the cap to the 2 fine gentlemen from Los Alamitos. Every student athlete that has appeared on the Fan Zone this season has been dynamite. I could not agree more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just wonderful young men.
And that's the other part. We were talking about like when the seniors graduate. You get to know these guys, and we have them come to the studio. Sometimes they come with their parents, and it's like, I can't believe they're gone. We could watch the same guys play over and over, but it's funny because when they have senior night, they'll say to the seniors, is there one message you want to pass on to the younger kids? And they say, enjoy it while you can because it goes fast. And boy, they ain't kidding.
All right, so let's hop to it. We had 4 Sunset Rewind teams qualify for the CIF playoffs, representing Division 2, 3, 5, and 7. So let's go ahead and get right to that. We'll go back to the slideshow.
D1. Do we have that? Or what do we get? Oh, you're going to do the teams first?
We can do our slides, and then we can go through the brackets.
All right.
Did you want me to recap last week, or do you want to save that for a little later?
Well, I was hoping to avoid it because I know I kind of.
Oh yeah.
Just who won?
All right.
All right. So let's.
If you want to go for it.
All right. Let's recap the pick'ems.
Real quick.
This is gonna be tough.
Okay. Patience, Sleepy Mo. All right, okay, boys. Week 10 is in the books. Last week, Mo went 6-1.
Oh,
I was 30 seconds away from 7-0. Fountain Valley had a heartbreaker in the last
holy cow!
closing
You went
seconds.
6, and that's impressive.
Yes. Kevin went 3-4, and I went 4-3.
Ooh, this got interesting. So where are we
So
at?
the overall records at the end of the regular season are as follows: Mo is 38-29. Kevin is 36-31, and I am 38-29. So Mo and I tied.
Tiebreaker.
Yep.
Wow, just like that.
Well, if anything, Kevin loses because he's got to buy us Goose.
Ooh, good
I do.
call.
And that
No,
Kent.
that
whoa.
was the bet. That was the
What
bet.
was that? Show me
That
that
was-
on video.
Kent, do you wanna go
I
with
never
us after
agreed to
this?
that.
It's
I
on
never-
That was
Possibly.
all the way back in the beginning of the season. Mo proposed it. He was like,
You're right,
I don't
Taran.
recall that.
Pull up
but-
the tape. You're
Yeah,
right.
pull up the
yeah,
tape.
it
I
was
wanna
when
see-
Dan Albano was.
I want to see an instant replay on that.
They have a great steak and
I wasn't
eggs.
here for
They
Dan
got
Albano.
lobster.
Well, that's your
caviar.
I
We're
wasn't.
doing-
Anyway,
All right, let's move on.
number 9, Edison home game versus North Torrance. So Edison's second place Alpha League, North Torrance Pioneer League champion. So North Torrance, that's kind of interesting. They got to go on the road even though they won their league, but that's that happens.
Remember last
It's a
year,
Division
Palos
3
Verdes
game.
went 10-0 and had to go to Mission in the first
Right.
round.
Right.
Yeah, so Edison is the 3rd seed. They will be at home. We don't know where yet because you've got a lot of local teams that share stadiums playing on the same night at home.
Right.
So we'll post that as it
We
comes
could
out.
be double dipping this week.
So
possibly.
I'll defer to Mo or Taran with the first pick because you guys are in first place. So who would like to go?
And Kent gets to play too this week.
Right.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Well, do you know much about their opponent? I know you're familiar with Edison.
I don't.
Yeah. 9-1's not bad.
I do know a little bit about the Pioneer League. It isn't really one of the stronger leagues around. Certainly not compared to the Alpha League.
Right.
So the battle-tested team there is a team with the
Yeah.
with the stripe, the lightning bolt in there.
I'm going Edison.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Edison too.
Wait, you guys will do it with point spreads?
I will.
No.
Do you want to put
we're
a
not
line?
doing it.
I think we can do that next year.
Oh, yeah, I got
No,
a
Coach
line.
Cobley, we are not doing point spreads.
All right, I'll give you.
We used to do that back at Cypress.
You
We'd
got to
actually
have the lines.
Yeah.
We literally would have fake money, and we'd have anyway.
Gamble
That got-
responsibly, everybody.
That got controversial though.
Edison.
Nice work, Mo.
Edison 28, North Torrance 24.
Oh, don't give a score. All right, what's next?
I'll take the overs. No, I like Edison a lot in that game.
Yeah, I'm taking Edison too.
All right. Number 10, Los Alamitos in the county versus Lusinger. This is a first-round Division II playoff game. Alpha League at large bid, 5-5, 1-2. Los Al in third place. Bailey is Lusinger, 8-2, 3-2 in league. So,
Are you sure Lusinger is not by the Coliseum? What's the school that's right there next to the USC?
Sierra Canyon?
No, it doesn't matter.
Lusinger's in Lawndale, I
Okay.
believe. Yeah.
Yeah. This
So-
is why you weren't a geography major, Mo.
No, or a city planner.
Yes.
I focus on our teams.
Taran, who you got?
See, the 8 versus 9 matchup is so tricky. I mean,
Yeah.
Los Alamitos is going to be home, but Lusinger, one of Lusinger's big-time wins was against Santa Margarita, who, as we all know, is a Trinity League team. Man, I'm going to take Los Alamitos just to be safe, but I feel this is going to be a banger of a matchup.
Yeah, with Los Al, I mean, sometimes they look so good. And, they had that one hiccup.
Yep.
But they're home. I think, they're in the playoffs. That was the big thing, just to make sure they get in.
Just get to the dance.
Alonso should be back. So as long as he's in, I'm going with Los Al.
I'm going to do the same, and I'll give you a score. Los Al is going to win this game 28-21.
All right, Kent, you got some inside info.
Oh yeah, I like Los Al a lot in this game.
Okay.
Their strength of schedule is off the charts compared to what Lusinger did. I like the Griffins by 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, I like them in a big way.
Yeah, don't let that 5-5 deceive you.
Yeah.
And then
No.
1 and 2, you think, well, league play. It's an at-large versus an 8 and 2, but there's
Yeah.
more detail.
There's more than meets the eye.
Yeah, this is blowout city.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, don't give Lusinger
Don't
any buffer material. Kent.
Bulletin board material? Nah, I don't care.
Marina did that against Kennedy, and it cost him. Anyway,
Yeah, no.
all right.
And I did that against Los Alamitos, and they wound up winning by a hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Number 20, Huntington Beach is going to take on a team that Kent Bickell knows very well.
Should we have
Western.
Kent go first on this one? I mean,
Yeah.
God, this is it's going to be a high. I mean, this is a game where you want to know what's the total of the game, 'cause this is going to be an over.
The over-under 72,
Yeah.
by the way. And I've
You're
got
going
the over.
72?
I think it's
I
an
might
over.
go 90.
Yeah, this is going to be it should be a really high scoring affair. Western's got a great quarterback, as does Huntington Beach. They've got a really good quarterback. As you mentioned earlier, the top receiver in Orange County at JJMS. But they've got another receiver on the other side who's really good. His name is Bunchy Young. You'll remember him from the Super Bowl commercial. He was the little kid that ran out onto the field. That's him. He's on.
Really?
He plays for Western now. And his name is Maxwell Young, but his real name is Bunchy. And
Okay.
he's a legit kid. I mean, he's a good athletic wide receiver as well. But the guy that's the heart and soul of that team for Western is Malachi Alatorre. He's a running back. He plays linebacker. The kid's got to be, he's shorter than me, but he's just all legs and he's just all heart. I
Hard to
love
bring
that
down,
kid.
good leverage.
He's outstanding. So and there's so many other guys you like. You get used to Western, and Western's they don't have the numbers that
Right.
Huntington Beach does.
Right.
And so they got a lot of kids going both ways. That'll be the only thing that might be a difference
The
maker
depth,
here.
can they keep up with the pace?
Exactly.
And,
And I would assume it's going to be a high-paced game. I haven't seen Huntington Beach play much, but I'm assuming when you got a quarterback like that, you want to get a lot of plays in. So does Western. So I would imagine it's going to be a high-scoring game. The question is going to be conditioning at the end, and I like Western's conditioning quite a bit.
Let me ask you a question. If you're a defensive coordinator in this game, how are you feeling right about now?
I'm asking for help, a lot of help, because you've got guys on both sides of the ball. That ball's in the air, you can look silly pretty quick, and you've got some offensive-minded coaches, especially.
Yeah.
I know Coach Davis. I've been familiar with Coach Brown for quite a few years, covering Los Al.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really you love that coaching staff over there. I think those guys are great. So you got 2 really good coaching staffs, 2 well-coached teams. I like this game a lot. Just from a fan's perspective,
this is gonna be a
be
fun
great.
game,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
going to be great.
we talk about it's going to be a high-scoring shootout, and it's not so much a knock on the defenses, but both these teams love to throw the ball,
Yeah.
and you're talking about incompletes and a lot of scoring that stops the game. So it's funny when I break down these games, the first thing I look at on huddle is how many plays there were. And if it's over 150, there's a lot of scoring or just a lot of throwing. If it's like 120 or less, it was just a ground and pound. So I think it'll just be high scoring just because of the style that they play, not so much a knock on the defense.
Who are you picking?
Boy, man, Huntington, you're the 1 seed and you get Western in the first round.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Huntington, but man, if there's an upset alert for the number 1 seed, that would be it. But I'll take Huntington. I just think the depth will probably be the difference because they do go fast, they are deep. But man,
Taran,
better
who you got?
strap it up.
My biggest concern for this game is for the reporters that have to cover this and that are on deadline.
Good
Thankfully,
point.
Jason's very nice about your deadlines because we don't get
Yes.
them until the next day.
Yes, or Sunday at the very latest. But I'm going to take Huntington Beach in this one. It's going to be a barn burner. No offense to Western, but I think Huntington Beach is playing some good football as of late. I think they got the clunker games out of the way. And Huntington Beach, they're really going to have to be dialed in defensively. If not, they're just going to have to put points on the board, and they're going to have to match Western tit for tat.
I'm going to go
All right.
Huntington Beach as well, and this would not be shocking at all if the final score was something like 49-42.
Yeah.
We'll find out
I mean,
Friday
you're
night.
like-
Well, I'm going to take Western in this one.
It could, or it
I'm
could be
taking
like,
we
the
get
over.
it.
Yeah.
Being their announcer, what do you got?
this could be just calculator type game where you're just constantly trying to figure out stats and everything because you could easily see both quarterbacks throw for 300 plus yards. I mean, this is just going to be an offensive showdown, I think. But I'm going to go slight edge to Huntington.
Who's next?
Marina versus Ukaipa. This is a first-round Division 7 playoff game. Ukaipa, Citrus Belt at large, and Lambda League champions, Marina. So
Let me just jump on this one real quick. There's an old saying that great teams aren't always great. They're just great when they have to be. And I go back to the last week's game with Marina.
Yep.
They were not only not great, they were almost awful. But when they had to be great, late in the game, to get that drive, to tie it up, to send it to overtime, they found a way. They got that hiccup against Kennedy out of the way. They're 9-1.
Yeah.
They had that bad game, really back-to-back weeks.
that
So
loss could turn out to be a blessing in disguise. for 'em.
that should be out of their system. I'll be honest, I don't know much about Ukaipa.
No.
But give me Marina at home.
I'm Taran.
I'll take Marina as well. I'm not picking against them this go around. I think Marina is going to put together a masterclass performance. And Mo alluded to this. They no longer have the pressure of being undefeated because when you're undefeated, you basically have the pressure on you and you're basically trying to stay perfect throughout the entire season. Whereas in the regular season, if you lose one, it's no big deal. But now, if they were undefeated in the playoffs, then every team would be gunning for them. Kind of like Ontario Christian and Huntington Beach. Huntington Beach was facing an undefeated Ontario Christian team, and they wound up inching past them in the quarterfinals. So now that Marina is not undefeated, they no longer have that pressure, and I think they can only go up from here. But they really got to clean up those turnovers. I swear, Marina, please, please, please clean up your turnovers.
They're on it. Don't worry. All right. So you got Marina, Taran?
Yes.
Okay,
Kent, who do you
Kent.
have?
I like Marina as well, but again, the thing here is Citrus Belt League. They've got some teams that are in higher divisions than Ukaipa does. Marina, I believe, doesn't have anybody in a higher division than them. The strength of schedule is actually, believe it or not, is pretty close between both schools. But former Sunset League, I got to go with those guys too.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Marina too and say they get the job done this week. So,
I won't pick against anybody for now.
well, you notice all 4 of the Sunset League schools in there have home games too. So
Ding,
that's,
ding, ding.
That's cool.
We will post on X and on Instagram who's playing what night and where
Where.
because they share a lot of stadiums. Los Al, you don't think they're going to be at home, right? The high school? Which
No,
I love that venue.
I don't believe so.
Because the press box situation?
Yeah, there's no press box there, so I don't imagine.
And
that
Paulie's
it
at
would be
home, so the
allowed.
vet's out.
Yeah, I think Cerritos College is an opportunity. I think Westminster is in use.
But that's Marina's home team.
right.
Their
That's
home
what I'm saying. I
state.
think
Right,
they're in
right.
use.
Gotcha.
So
Maybe Ocean View?
That was my thought, or Cerritos. What do you...
well, or Gar. Gar's another high school. It's really close by. It's actually used to be one of the home fields for Los Al back in the day.
Okay.
So I don't think they'll be playing at John Barnes Field, but I believe they will be playing at some local high school.
So we'll post all that stuff as soon as we know.
So
And
since
that's
we
why
have
we're
Kent
working it out
here,
now.
we can take a look at a couple of the divisions in CIF. Here's a Division 1.
All right,
Oh,
Kent,
yeah.
what stood out when what's your instant reaction to Division 1?
You see the top team. You see the top team, and you already know who's going to win. So that's most of the primary drama is gone. So now you're down to the secondary drama. And so you look at something like the thing that jumped out at me most was Mission Viejo against Corona Centennial. So Mission Viejo comes into this game. They're 10-1. They get a first round bye because they've chosen 10 teams.
No,
in
Mission's
Division
10-0,
One.
right?
Yeah, Mission's 10-0.
Yeah.
Did I
Yeah,
say
yeah.
10-1? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's
no,
right.
they're 10-0. I think they'll be 10-1, mainly because they're playing Corona Centennial.
I think that's a typo there. It has them at 12-0.
Yeah,
Unless
Maybe CF knows something
Yeah,
we don't.
maybe they know.
Watching the semis.
I like Corona Centennial in this game. I think Mission's been really good, but Corona Centennial is. I think they've played tougher teams. They've had a tougher schedule.
Which would
than
be so
Mission Viejo.
ironic.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Well, because last year
enough.
Mission Viejo beat a 10-0 Palos Verdes team, so you're saying that's going to happen to them this year.
I think so because you're in a position where you're playing the number one team, right? Not the number one team. You're playing a team that is, historically been outstanding.
Every year it's them, Bosco, and Mater Dei in the semis.
Right, and assuming that
being-
Huson Longstreet's still playing,
Right.
he's still okay. I mean, that's a legit quarterback they got. Their entire team is loaded.
Yeah, let me pose this question to you. If you're Mission Viejo, you're the defending state champs, you're 10-0. You get Centennial in the first round. If you win that, you're most likely going to play Mater Dei.
Yeah.
And if you win that, you're playing Bosco. If you're Mission Viejo, and I'm just going to say this right now from the coach, you're playing for the national title because if you run the table, finish 13-0 is what it would be, and you beat Mater Dei, and you beat Bosco, and you beat Centennial, on top of what you've already done, how can you possibly not crown them national champs? Now, there's a lot that has to happen, but
You still have other teams like Duncanville, IMG.
forget it. If
Yeah,
Mission runs the table with CIF, they're the
All
national
right,
champ.
then
I will,
fair enough.
I
Yes,
will
they
order
are.
them rings. I
They
don't
are.
care.
They are.
Then
Yeah,
fair
so
enough.
Centennial's number 23 in the nation. So, and you've got, Mater Dei obviously number one by a lot.
Right.
So yeah, you've got to give it to whoever wins that. Again, there's no slam dunk that they're going to be playing Bosco in the finals. There, Bosco's team is a little bit down this year, so I don't see them. I'm not
They
sure
might not make
even
the
it.
finals.
Bosco
No, I don't
got
think
that bye
they do.
there, and look who they would play. That Inglewood team.
Yeah.
CIF, they don't want to.
Yeah, but
Funny how they just got into that open division.
Yeah, I don't. I think if
Division
you're 10-0, you're not happy for Mission Viejo right now.
Right.
It's like you're a
Honestly-
victim of your own success.
Absolutely.
Well,
I don't.
I-
And
Ask-
Los Al kind of went through that.
Ask
when they
Palos
had
Verdes
those-
about that
Absolutely.
last year.
Yeah.
Ask PD
Honestly,
about
I
that.
think Mission Viejo should have been the 3, but I feel that Orange Lutheran kind of has a better argument because they played Bishop Gorman.
But, okay, well, that opens up another can. I just want to touch on this briefly.
Yeah, sorry.
The non-public schools, that's all right, Taran. Do you think they should almost be in their own division? Because you posed a trivia question which blew me away. Do you want to say that on air real quick, and then I'll...
Yeah,
This is remarkable.
yeah. So when was the last time a non-private school or Corona Centennial or Long Beach Poly was in the Division I finals?
I'll give you a big hint. It was Moe's senior year of high school.
You got to go back to the 80s.
1989, and that was it's incredible. When you go back and look at it, 1989 was the last time it wasn't a private school or Corona Centennial or Long Beach
That's
Poly, which was kind of like
unbelievable.
a private school. So what we're trying to do, or what's been trying to happen here, is how do we fix the private school dilemma, or how do we fix the Mater Dei, that whole bit.
And they're only getting better. At least in the 80s and 90s, they were beatable.
Right.
Now they're this whole, national champion level.
Juggernauts.
So then now you think, all right, you got a Mission Viejo. So instead of them being able to play a 13 seed as the number 4, as they should be, no, they get a bye, but then they got to play the number 5 team, which is, I think that's a bust. I think it's these unintended consequences. You've got really good teams that are only going to get to play one game and then they're done.
Right.
It just doesn't
Yeah.
seem right. I think I've gone full circle on this, and now I'm down to, look, why don't you do this? Go ahead and separate the publics and the privates.
And who would complain about it? There's not one public school that'd say, no, that's not. They'd love that.
Absolutely.
Go do your own thing. You've got your own kind of set of rules.
Well, that's just it. There's different rules.
Yeah.
You can draw from anywhere if you're a private school. You can do whatever you want in your locker rooms. It's okay. It's just different than the public schools.
I did this for fun last year. I created 2 brackets, a D1 and a D2 with 32 different private schools. And honestly, from Santa Barbara to San Diego, you could put together 2 16-team divisions with all the private schools. You could.
Absolutely. And they have different rules, as we talked about.
Right.
So why not put them in their own brackets? And I think all the public schools guys would agree with it. And
And the private schools will probably like it too. Like, let's play our own. It's a good opportunity to play the other non-public schools. I don't see who would be against it.
Yeah, I don't either. Except for, if you're a private school, you get to play a team that has, is at a disadvantage than you.
Correct.
But then you've got all these transfers. Now you're seeing all these transfers happening in the public schools, which, You saw what happened at Narbonne. In the Marine League, everybody forfeited their games because Narbonne was bringing in these transfers, and so every team said, "No, we're not doing that. We're just going to go ahead and stop playing."
Yeah.
So the real fix,
it's come to that point.
it
Literally.
really
The
has.
state of high school football in 2024.
There's a fix to that, and the fix is separate public and privates. And if you transfer in, you got to sit out. You're not eligible for the playoffs. You can
Or
play the
have
regular season. Because then what happens? I mean, there's no real incentive now to get these transfers in.
And that's why we brought Ken in. This is
Yeah.
stuff.
Or
I'm
have like a
serious.
national tournament, like a national Max Preps tournament with all the best teams like Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, Milton of Georgia,
I'd watch it.
IMG Academy, Bishop Gorman, Duncanville, Mission Viejo maybe, North Crawley of Texas. The list goes on. North
Yeah.
Shore.
You're spot on, Taran. I think there should definitely be a
Have
national.
an
And don't you
Actual-
think we as like SoCal guys would actually cheer for these non-public schools
Absolutely.
now? All of a sudden,
Yeah.
I'm pulling for Sir right or
Absolutely.
Monterey or Bosco because they kind of represent our area.
Right, absolutely.
It's a win-win. All right,
Here's
Duncan,
Division
Bill.
2, where Los Alamitos landed, and you can see that Lusinger game. So if they get past Lusinger, would take on Murrieta Valley or Rancho Cucamonga. Who went to Rancho Cucamonga, Taran?
Not you, certainly.
No, NFL quarterback.
Who?
I'm forgetting now too. I thought you would help me out on that.
CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud.
Yeah, CJ Stroud. There you go.
You ask a question, you don't know the answer.
I actually did not know. I didn't really know that.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Kent.
Los Al's home against
thanks, Ken.
Lusinger. We've talked about that already. That boy, as tough as D2 is, Los Al's got a good shot if they play their kind of ball. I mean, there's a lot of ringers. Murrieta Valley is the number 1 seed, but
Yep.
Yeah, I think Los Al's defense is actually playing a lot better than last week against Mission. It was men against boys. They were just
Correct.
They were so much better. But I think as a whole, their defense is really gelling. They're doing a lot of nice things on defense. So I think there's a real good opportunity that Los Al prevails here in this
don't
division.
sleep on
I like
Los
them a
Al.
lot.
They got a shot to
Yeah,
make
I think
a run.
I think so.
We're talking Murrieta
D3.
Valley. I got to say hi to one of my best friends, Sean Parks, teacher.
Hi, Sean.
So,
Murrieta Valley will go as far as Bear Bachmeyer can take them.
yay, San Juan Hills also ended up in this division. Another local team there. So
Yeah, Bravo. The Bravo League champs.
You know what? If you look at that division
Yorba
right
Linda?
here,
San Clemente.
I think you're setting up another Sarah Los Alamitos.
Oh, that would be great.
This is time to be a final.
boy, wouldn't that
Yeah.
be something? All right, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I would
Okay,
not
hold
mind
on.
that.
Go all the way down the bottom real quick. The Newberry Park with that quarterback Schmiegel.
Smigel.
He's
He's good. That
really
kid is
good.
good.
You're predicting an upset alert in the possibly first round, definitely the second.
Yeah, I think Newberry Park, they're, again, another example of playing a real weak schedule, a relatively weak schedule. They're 10-0 versus San Clemente. San Clemente 5-5.
Battle tested.
Way battle tested, and I think they'd have their way with Newberry Park or San Jacinto. So that's I don't see Newberry Park getting out of the second round. I could see San Jacinto and Newberry Park are fairly similar in how they played weaker schedules, but again you've got. It's going to be very tough for them to get past these battle-tested teams.
There's
All
an
right, let's
intriguing
go.
possible match. How do we like Jeff Bailey's Yorba Linda and possibly a second round game against Sarah? That
I
would
mean,
be
honestly,
interesting.
Yorba Linda's been banged up, so they're going to need to get healthy. They got to get out of the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially in this
Chaparral's legit.
division. Yeah, there's nowhere to
Chaparral's
hide.
Really good.
Yeah, Chaparral's not too bad.
No,
And,
they're very good.
Yeah, Yorba Linda can't play like they did against Corona Del Mar. Otherwise, it'll be lights out for them.
All right.
So Division 3 is where we find our friends at Edison.
D2 is fun, and D3 is just as fun.
So Edison, 6-4 after that 0-2 start, just went on a tear. North Torrance at Edison. We don't know the site yet, but you look at the records, you think 9-1 versus 6-4. But going back to the point Kent constantly makes, it's about rankings and the quality of the teams you play.
Look at that Cathedral Bonita matchup, a 9-1 versus 10-0, 2 first place teams. Wow.
Yeah, one of those teams are going to be one and done.
Jeez.
Hey, Cathedral had a tough one against St. Paul this past Friday, and beat them.
Yeah.
And Cathedral surprised. I thought Cathedral was really going to be down in the dumps this year, and boy, they've turned it around. St. Paul's on the rise over there in that same Angeles League as well. So you're right. I'm surprised, but I like Cathedral in this game.
All right.
The Angeles League and the Mission League are two really good teams, or two good leagues.
Another local school in their Villa Park actually ended up in this division too. They'll take on Vista Murrieta.
Boy, wouldn't that be a great semifinal if Edison and Villa Park could meet up?
yeah.
Yeah. As an OC guy, I'd love to see that.
All right, Division.
Do you know when the
4?
last time they faced in a final?
You know who would is Colonel Clark, the old coach. I'm sorry, Colonel Campbell.
Coach Campbell, you guys, you realize that you guys are a national broadcast. You guys have somebody listening coast to coast.
In Alabama?
Greg Campbell, my buddy.
Great. He's
they're,
awesome.
Again, a great example of people who are, adversaries on the field, Edison Los Al guy, and we can still be friends.
Not only did we battle in high school, at JUCOs when he was at Fullerton, I was at Santa Barbara City College, we played in the Potato Bowl. Had no idea, but 30-something years later, we're still talking when he's not putting the geese away.
That's funny.
Edisonville Park last met in the CIF finals back in 2012, where Edison wound up winning.
So Division 4, we got a couple local schools, Capo Valley, Laguna Beach. Hey, that's where Long Beach Poly ended up, too. And there's St. Paul, as Kent was talking about.
Well, that's a young Long Beach Poly team. That's not the Poly that everyone expects them to be.
Xavier Guess and El Medina get to take on Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I got to see quite a few of the I saw El Medina and as well as Capo Valley, and they're both in the Delta League. And to your point, Xavier Guess is a legit two-way guy. He can run. He can run like no other. He's a small guy, and he's able to break tackles like no other. He looks like Michael Vick out there. He's
pretty
incredible.
much what I said.
UC Davis is getting a special football player in him next
The
year.
game I broke down, it was like a video game. When it's on freshman mode and the quarterback's Heisman.
It's like Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray.
He's the real deal.
Yeah.
He is a gifted football player, that's for sure. So Division 5 is where we find Huntington Beach.
We already broke down Huntington Beach Western. Any other teams in that division kind of stand out?
Let's take a look. Lucerna.
Wow, how did they end up in that division?
Well, Lucerna's they've been on the rise for a while now.
They're in Division 4
and state champs last year.
Yes.
Yep.
They graduated all their guys, but they do a really nice job over there. The coach over there does an outstanding job. He plays up. His schedule, he always plays up.
Yep.
But again, that's one of those things where he's in a league he's in a very weak league, but they have to play up.
I talk weekly with one of the grandparents over there. His name's Dennis Roll. Really nice person. He sends me updates about Lucerna, and he asks questions about the Sunset games. Really good conversations with him every week about football.
Hey, my granddaughter Jackie goes there, so
that's right. We talked about that earlier. All right.
She's on the girl. She's a captain of the girls' freshman basketball team.
So you have a
Jackson.
Granddaughter there, and Dennis Roll has a grandson there. That's cool. Yeah. Troy, local team. That's who Lucerna will be playing. Also, Foothill in that division. Trabuco Hills. And our friends at Palos Verdes.
Don't worry.
PV.
Don't worry, Trabuco Hills. You don't have Casper the Ghost on your team. He transferred to Corona Del Mar.
So PV at 5-5 is the 2 seed, if I'm not mistaken, right? Taking on a 10-0
Brea Olinda.
But that's just so weird how the rankings dictate, not the schedule or
Say
how
hi
you
to
finish in
our,
league. Am I right, Kent, that they are the 2 seed?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's just.
Yep. Say hi to our friends at Palos Verdes, Dan Klink, and
they've done some damage in the Sunset League.
Beat Brea Olinda
in recent years.
Yeah, they have.
All right, good luck, PV.
Good luck, PV.
Take a look at Trabuco Hills also. They are a team that Western played really tight this past week. It was 36-35. An epic type of a comeback win, drive with no timeouts. Western comes back, goes for 2 at the end to win. That's the kind of coach Davidson is.
Yes.
But they're Trabuco Hills again. They've got the number 5 receiver in the section over there with them. So they're legit. I'm kind of pleased to see what's going on here in this division. I think it's going to be a pretty wide open division.
As we break all these divisions down, there's great matchups from start to finish. I mean, I don't see any discrepancies where I'm like, wait, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, think about it. We're talking about a 1-16 matchup and a 2-15 matchup, like
as if we don't know.
And they're going to be legit games.
Whereas back in the day, it's like, all right, they get a bye in the first round, and we'll see. Yeah.
Imagine if Huntington Beach and Palos Verdes face one another.
That'd be great.
2 beach schools, and I know I was thinking that Petros Papadakis would be happy, but he is an alum of Peninsula
up in Palos Verdes.
Yeah, but I know he would be over the moon to see Palos Verdes in the final.
Division 6, local
no one
schools
recovering.
No, but we got.
Go to 7. I want to see my Vikings.
I don't
Dang, Mo.
Dana Hills.
Oh, Dana Hills.
Dana Hills, Elisa Nagel.
That'd be a nice second round matchup.
And we got Northwood is in there as well. So interesting division. Let's go to 7.
Yeah, Mo.
That's where we will find the mighty Marina Vikings.
Let's go Vikings.
Let's go.
Sound
Vikings.
the yeller horn.
El Toro, your alma mater.
Oh, nice. Coach Lofthouse has got his mighty little Chargers in the playoffs against Golden. Was that Valley?
And the aforementioned Peninsula.
Yep.
Okay, there you go, Petros.
The
look at that.
CIF!
Peninsula could play Marina in that second round game. Look at that.
Oh,
Petros, open invitation to come on Sunset Rewind.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sure. Hold your breath. Tag him, Taran, on this episode.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, go Vikings. I mean, that's boy, I'd love to see Marina and El Toro somehow meet up at some point.
That
but,
would have to be in the possible.
championship, right?
Would it?
Where'd Marina go? Dole, you are making me dizzy right
El
now.
Toro's right here.
No, that would be the semis.
Yeah, it would be this game right here.
All right.
All right. Any other divisions that we'd like to take a look at, gentlemen?
No, we're good.
Okay. So
So overall, Kent, what's your impression on this whole CIF bracketing and just
Well,
what have they gotten right and what do you think they could fix? We've kind of addressed that already, but
Yeah, I think as far as the brackets go, I do love this new, basing everything on the Cal Preps rankings. I think that allows for outstanding matchups throughout the playoffs besides Division One. Just maybe because there's such big divergence there, and I think it is fixed by going public-private. I think that makes all the sense in the world. I think as far as the leagues go, the Orange County leagues, I thought they got that right, with the exception of the Alpha League going to 4 teams. That was a bust, and I think there were some unintended consequences there. You had those 4 teams had to go out of section 12 times.
Yorba Linda and San Juan Hills could have hung with those teams.
Absolutely.
Now, they've won it, maybe not. But, I mean, you really did a disservice to those other 4 teams.
Absolutely.
And, you got a 3-way tie for second based on it's just so – just go 6 all the way down.
Yeah, I think they were trying to fix something that wasn't broken and, try to make it more equitable. It wasn't necessary. If you stayed with 6 teams, well, then you don't have that extra burden of the alpha teams having to go out of section to play those other teams.
Right.
Every time you go out of section, it's about $10,000, and so there's a financial consequence to public school teams to try to fill a schedule. And it isn't though that these teams are they want to go out of section. No one will play them. That's the problem. And
they can't play each other non-league because they're in
Right.
their same league. Nobody in Orange County wants to play them because they know there's a discrepancy.
I think that if CIF were to have a commission on this, Kent, you would be the number one choice to be the commissioner for this.
And it's
'cause,
fixable.
I mean,
It's not a CIF thing. CIF isn't the one that decided the leagues. There's an Orange
The
County.
principals.
It's the principles, right?
Well, there's an Orange County Association of
Okay.
Leagues, and they're the ones who came up with this. It's not
Okay.
CIF had nothing to do with it.
Right.
But I love the fact that the leagues were grouped together just like the divisions were, and I think that's provided for outstanding theater throughout the league play.
What do you think it would take to open up a dialogue about this?
Well, it's guys like you and talking.
Sunset Rewind, tune
Sunset
in.
Rewind. You guys can you guys have a voice out there, and you get in people's ears, and the people who are listening can reach out to those people that are decision makers and say, hey, let's fix this. You're on the right path.
You're right. They've done a lot of good
Oh,
things. We're so close.
I think that they've done an outstanding job. The other thing they need to do is bring the league names back. I mean,
Oh,
how
yeah.
do you lose the Sunset League and how do you lose the
South
Orange
Coast
League?
League.
Yeah, I mean those are
Lambda.
League.
You don't like that league?
yeah, those are yeah. I mean, just where did that come from?
No, I always like the league names because they kind of painted a picture of the teams that were in there. Like how do you take away like the Freeway League, La Habra and all those schools?
Hadn't that been around since the
forever?
60s?
The South Coast League, the Seaview League, the Sunset League was around forever.
Since 1937, you've got the Orange League that's been around 100 years, and these are you lose all that history.
And you identified the schools with those league names, and it was
Yeah.
kind of cool how like you always knew if you're going to a Sunset League game, you're going to see some Newport Harbor and Huntington Beach and like the beach area schools, or the South Coast was exactly where those schools were located in the southern part of Orange County.
The
you know?
North Hills League.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, listen, they're doing good things. They're close. I think
Yeah.
if we fix the Alpha League situation and the non-public school situation, you almost have a perfect.
Yeah, there was a lot of.
I think
The
so.
Freeway League.
I
It's
think
fixable, and we're
generally
close.
speaking, they got those leagues right this year. Like the teams ended up where they should have been.
They were. I think those leagues in Orange County were
Yeah,
outstanding.
they were. They were great.
They were up top to bottom. It was competitive. Marina gets to win they get a league championship.
Yeah.
Fountain Valley gets to play. They didn't get a championship this year, but still they were in a in a league that we were competitive.
All their games were competitive and close.
It was appropriate for them. It was a good fit for them. Yeah.
So basically, you've got an entire season of competitive games.
Yeah, if you think right, non-league all the way through. There's no more free spots on the bingo board. Every game is stressful for these coaches, and it's a toss-up.
And I think that's what it's all about. That
Yes.
creates a lot of excitement and a lot of more fun. And
Yeah.
I just think it's the right approach. They did a really good job.
All right.
The best part is that we get one more year of this, and then it shuffles around again.
Every 2 years. That's the contract.
Yep.
So go back to the slideshow real quick, Cole. I've got an ad here for Teran TV. Sorry.
Taran TV. Yeah.
No, it's Tar TV. Even though the Newport Harbor Sailor season is over, I still want to give these guys a shout out. They do a great job at Newport Harbor, and Taran will obviously be back next year doing the Sailor
I'll also
football
be doing
games.
other games like
Yeah.
maybe volleyball, basketball, and whatnot.
Yeah, so follow Tar TV. Tune in for all other sports just besides football. You can follow the Sailors throughout the season, all sports at the school. So thank you, Tar TV.
Please and thank you.
Also, JP West Media.
Not JP Media. That's a magazine
JP
company in
West.
Wisconsin. JP West.
Thank you for all your contributions. Be sure to go to his website if you need any photos, athletic photos. He does a great job with local high schools and Saddleback College and a variety of different sports as well. Huntington Beach football games. Dominic Lawrence, he'll have another game, at least one more this week, hopefully 4 more or 6 more, whatever the case may be.
I don't think Kent's going to appreciate that comment.
And
Both of
our
them
friend
are going
Kent
to be in the
will be doing the Western, and hopefully I'll be fair and
We can't
objective.
lose either way.
Kent,
I don't know if I'll be able to do this game. If
Hopefully
if they've
Kent has
already got a
another
guy, I may be. Just
It gets
a fan.
weird in CIF, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
all
does.
right. You can hang out with us.
All right.
hey, SD7, you want to talk about that real quick,
Justin
Kent?
Connolly, my man. Oh, go ahead, Kent.
Yeah. Justin Connolly, my radio partner for the last 11 years, it seems like.
Who took my job?
Yeah, he took your job exactly. Succeeded Moe Pottios. Hard, big shoes to fill. But
And who
he's
did I
somehow
succeed?
able to do it. Dan Davidson,
Dan
the
Davidson.
head coach
Western
at
head coach.
Western. I've had some good partners.
Yeah,
you
you
guys
got a
have
nice
made me
little
look-
lineage.
You guys have make me look like I actually know what I'm talking about. Now, this showdown series is it's a tournament, 7-on-7 tournament that goes on throughout the years for both anywhere from 8 and up for boys and girls. And the girls section has really started to explode.
It's growing big
It's
time.
growing big, and it's a lot of fun. It's you're watching those girls out there playing flag football. My granddaughter played it over at Los Al. Sophia, it's been a lot of fun. So they're doing that now as well. Showdown series. That's Nate Williams and Justin Connolly. Nate Williams,
Guys,
The
we
El
know
Toro
well, yeah.
flag
Yeah.
football coach.
Yep.
yeah, El Toro flag football coach.
2 Cypress guys.
2 Cypress guys used to play my son Jordan. So
Yep.
yeah, they were all good teammates, and so there's a real connection there with them. And they do a first class job with these. With
So
their
check out
tournaments.
the site. It's fun. You get to play tournament style flag football year round, and it's a lot safer.
Yeah.
So-
like Kent said, they do a wonderful job
And they're
organizing
growing.
this. And yeah, it's a good thing.
All right.
All right, save the date, February 22nd, 2025. Talk about the California Showcase, Coach.
So some of your seniors whose season is now over, this is probably the next thing you want to be gearing up for. If you feel like you've been overlooked, if you feel like you can play at the next level, this is an opportunity to go to the Great Park down in Irvine and show off your skills. It's free. It's all day. They do all kinds of tests. It's a good time. And there's a lot of coaches there who want to give scholarships away. It doesn't have to be Alabama or Georgia or UCLA, Cole. There's a lot of other good. No, you can get there easy. But no. You show off your skills. You do your thing. And like I said, I say this all the time, and I'll say it again. If you can start in Orange County, you can play at the next level.
So true.
And go show out, do your thing, and you might walk away with a lot of money.
So please like and follow us on social media platforms, X and Instagram at sunset_rewind. Check out our website, sunsetrewind.com. Please remember to like and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. You can leave any questions or comments there if you have. Thank you to JP West Media for their contributions. Teran Rodriguez, Emma Verns, McKenna Malou for our amazing sideline reporters. Nick Verns for all his support. Cole Murphy, another great regular season of your direction and production skills. Thank you so much. And
So
thank you to
real
Kent
quick,
Bickell, too.
in case there's any confusion, Cole, one of our engineers, completely dropped the ball, and the first episode review show that we
Wait a second.
showed
Wait a
got
second.
basically destroyed or erased. So we're going to post the Fan Zone show first, and it is time sensitive. Then we're going to reshoot the show we already did this morning.
Cole, you do a great job. dude.
You do a wonderful job, but yeah, man, that hurts because now my afternoon just got a lot longer. So Fan Zone first, we'll put the review show on after. So if it's out of order, that's why.
Oh, and here comes the USC.
I would expect that song considering how you just dropped the ball. So
Hey.
that was appropriate, Cole. Good job.
Kent,
Well,
thank
who
you
has
so
the
much
better
for being
record
here.
between USC and UCLA?
And conference play, UCLA.
Overall, though.
Wow, overall, it's all about the conference, baby. Win that league
Thank you
title.
for not bringing up San Diego State either.
Yeah, they got demolished by Boise State.
I thank you for not bringing it up. And then, well,
They have now lost 2 straight.
Kent, who's your college team? Do you have one?
Michigan.
Oh, really?
Michigan.
Well, that's a good
Yeah,
team.
my dad was a Michigan alum,
Oh.
so yeah, I've
All right.
always been a Wolverine guy.
Him and Kai Kozai.
all right.
Yeah.
Hey, Ken, thank you so much for being here. It's
Thanks.
always a pleasure.
Thanks again. I really
to have you.
appreciate you guys
insight.
having me on. It's been fun.
You know more about this stuff than anybody, and it's a blessing and a privilege to have you on the show every time you come by.
I need to hire you as my agent. Yeah, I really do.
Yes.
gladly.
Well, your Pioneers will be at Huntington Beach this
Yeah.
week. CIF
Yeah.
first round. Good stuff.
So thank you so much for joining us. Another regular season in the book. We'll be back next week for a playoff edition of the Fan Zone. Have a great week, everyone. Get out and go to a football game. This is the best time of year. Football playoffs in high school, college coming up soon, and the NFL's in full midseason tilt, and everything's going well there. So go to a football game. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Take care. God bless.
Playoff time, baby. Let's go.